All right, today we're going to dive into something that's, well, it's kind of strange and honestly a little painful when you see it happen. We're talking about this massive disconnect between being book smart and being financially successful.
I mean, it's a question that just doesn't seem to make any sense, right? You'd think the people with the highest IQs would be the richest, but so often that's just not how it plays out in the real world. So, what is going on here? Let's get into it.
And this leads us right to this idea we're calling the smart money paradox. It's this baffling contradiction we see all the time, and we're going to break down exactly what it looks like.
Okay, so here's the problem in a nutshell. On the left, that's what we all expect, right? That smart, educated people will be analytical, sharp, logical with their money. But then you look at the reality on the right, and it's often a total disaster. They're drowning in debt, throwing money at the latest crypto hype coin, and just completely ignoring the basic, boring discipline that actually builds wealth.
And this is really the heart of the issue. We've got to separate these two things in our minds. Raw intelligence, the kind that gets you A's in school, is not the same thing as financial wisdom. They're two completely different skill sets. And thinking that one automatically gives you the other, that's the first and biggest mistake. So, how does this actually happen? Well, that brings us to the root cause, something we call the confidence trap. And this is where being smart can actually turn into a huge weakness.
This, right here, this one little thought, is probably the single most dangerous thing a smart person can tell themselves about money. It's this belief that their intellect is some kind of magical shield that protects them from making dumb mistakes. But as we're about to see, it's actually the complete opposite.
You see, it sets off this really dangerous chain reaction. It all starts from a good place, your intelligence. And that intelligence, naturally, makes you confident. But when that confidence isn't checked with a little humility, it creates these huge blind spots. You start to think you can't be wrong. And those blind spots, that's exactly where financial disaster loves to hide. You know that little voice in your head, the ego? For smart people, it whispers things like this. It tells them they can outsmart the market, that they can handle more risk because, hey, they're smarter than the average person. It's like a siren song, and it leads them straight onto the rocks. So why is that ego so powerful and so incredibly wrong in this specific area? Well, this next part, mind over money, explains the fundamental mismatch between how a brilliant mind works and how money actually works. Just look at this contrast. It's like they're from two different planets. A smart mind is fast. It loves complexity and showing off its brilliance. But money? Money grows slow. Its playground isn't some intellectual puzzle. It's the messy, emotional world of our own fear and greed. And money doesn't care about your brilliance. It only cares about your behavior day in and day out. They're just totally at odds.
And that's the bottom line, isn't it? You cannot impress your savings account with your PhD or how fast you can solve the math problem. Money is a behavioral game, plain and simple. It rewards how you act, especially when you're feeling stressed or excited, not how much you know.
Okay, so if being a genius isn't the answer, then what is? That brings us to what we're calling the humility advantage. We're going to look at the simple, almost boring traits that are the real secret to building lasting wealth. This is kind of counterintuitive, right? Our culture celebrates genius and lightning-fast brilliance. But when it comes to money, the tortoise almost always beats the hare. The real winners are often people with perfectly average intelligence who just mastered a few simple habits and stuck with them for decades. And here they are, the real winning traits. Notice anything about this list? Not a single one of these has to do with being a genius. They're all about temperament, their emotional skills, patience, discipline, humility. These are the actual superpowers when it comes to building wealth, and they're skills a lot of smart people just forget to practice. This lays it out so perfectly. On the left, you've got the frantic energy of the smart person, always overthinking, overanalyzing, and making things way too complicated. And on the right, you've got the calm, steady approach of the humble investor. They stick to the plan, they stay consistent, they keep it simple. Guess who wins in the long run? Okay, let's pull all these threads together. This final section is all about what is truly your smartest possible decision when it comes to your money. This is the big takeaway. Let's be clear about this. If you're a smart person listening to this, the solution is not to get even smarter. It's not to find a more complex trading algorithm or read another dozen books on market theory. That's not where the answer is. No,
The solution is right here. It's about subtraction, not addition. Financial success comes more from consistently avoiding stupidity than from moments of brilliance. It's about getting out of your own way and just stopping the emotional mistakes that are driven by your ego.
At the end of the day, it all boils down to this one simple truth. The most valuable financial skill in the world is emotional regulation. The ability to stay calm when everyone else is freaking out. The ability to be patient when everyone else is chasing a quick buck. That, right there, is true financial genius.
And I want to leave you with this one thought, because it really wraps the whole thing up perfectly. The moment you stop trying to prove how clever you are with your money is the moment you actually start making wise decisions.
So, as we finish up, here's a little challenge for you. Just think about it this week. Where can you choose simple humility over complex brilliance? Maybe it's just sticking to your boring budget instead of trying to time the market. Maybe it's just automating your savings and forgetting about it. Where can you let go of the need to be brilliant and just choose to be consistent? Thanks for tuning in.